Hey everybody, it's Eric. Last night I saw Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and I did not like this movie as much as I adored the first movie. Absolutely love the first movie. It's almost flawless. It's great. It's awesome. We love it. I didn't like this movie as much, and I kept thinking today, why, and how do I articulate why? I think it's because in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, there are too many damn Peters. I mean, this movie is loaded with Peters. There are Peters here, Peters there, Peters coming at you, Peters flying this way and that way, bouncing all over each other, just Peters in your face. Just too many damn Peters. How many Peters can a guy handle? Me? 2? Maybe 3 tops at once. I mean, in this movie, you're going to get thin Peters and thick Peters. Tiny Peters, large Peters, Asian Peters, and Indian Peters. You're going to get happy Peters, sad Peters, angry Peters, very angry. I mean, some are going to be dirty and well-groomed. I mean, there's just so many different Peters. Pick your Peter. It's in the movie, definitely. A lot of surprise Peters, too. Yeah. I don't know. And sometimes, most of the time, these Peters are climbing all over each other, right? Just swarms of Peters coming at you. And they're not only climbing over each other, I mean, they're shooting their spider goo at you. And they're shooting their spider goo out of various places from their bodies, on each other, in each other's faces. You know what I like about this cup right here? One Peter. Just one Peter. So in the third act of this film, Miles gets his mission. He focuses on his family. He gets to walk out from the shadow cast by all these thousands of Peters. And that is when the movie is at its best. All right, let's try to get our minds off all those Peters. Let's focus. I'm going to talk briefly about this film. If you want to avoid all spoilers, just go away and come back. Like and subscribe. Share my video with a friend that you want to lose after showing my video to that person. Let's go through this in general. I'm not going to give you any reveals, any twists or turns. Those are the types of things I consider spoilers. We'll be very, very generic, very cryptic in what I'm going to say. Act 1. Oh, first of all, this movie is 2 hours and 20 minutes. And that's about 45 minutes too long. Okay? Just saying. What kid is going to be hanging out for 2 hours and 20 minutes? I'm going to give it a go with my son, but I got a bad feeling about this. All right? I don't think it's going to work. All right. Act 1 starts off with Gwen Stacy, and I really didn't care. I don't think it really worked. And the animation, maybe it was just me trying to get acclimated to it, but I thought I was going to have a seizure watching this. And I didn't care about Gwen's story. 2099 Spider-Man's going to show up. The Dimension Police are going to show up. Things get a little bit better, but then they're quickly ruined by pregnant Spider-Woman saving Spider-Man 2099 from a, I won't tell you who shows up, but they're in like a paper drawing form. And I didn't like that either. All right? Didn't like that either. After 30 minutes or so, Miles Morales finally shows up. We get to hang out with his family again. There's a very funny scene with him and his parents in front of a guidance counselor. Very, very funny, very charming. I loved it. We meet the new villain here, the Spot. We see him in the trailer. Spot is a lot of fun. We're going to get to see what Spot is all about and why he is doing what he's doing. And I thought that worked. I thought he was an interesting character. Very fun. There's another good scene where Miles in his Spider-Man persona is talking to his dad as a police officer. And I liked how Miles was changing his voice. And you could see Miles as Spider-Man and his father as the police officer have a good working relationship. And I liked Miles trying to disguise his voice. I thought that was pretty funny. Pretty good. There is a lot of Easter eggs. We'll just get that out of the way. A ton of Easter eggs, a ton of cameos. So, yeah, enjoy that. Gwen is going to show up, and she hangs out with Miles. They have good chemistry. I liked the scene where they're hanging upside down from a building in Brooklyn. That looked very nice. That was something new. I just liked how the landscape was upside down for so long. I thought that was really, really cool. We get a little bit more information about the plot here, and they're chasing the Spot. Just going to leave it with that, all right? Gwen's got to leave, and Miles follows her without her knowing through a dimensional gate, and he really shouldn't be doing that. All right, the second act begins with Miles walking through the portal, following Gwen, and they arrive in India, some India dimension, I guess. And they meet some new spider people. They're okay. Every spider person has to have their shtick. One of them is done very jerky animation. Maybe he's supposed to be sort of a graffiti style. I didn't like it. I didn't like when they played with that, a couple times with some of these characters. Made them highly animated, highly stylized. Yeah, it wasn't working for me. Anyway, there's going to be a big disaster scene in this India world, and I did like that. And Miles is trying to help and save some folks, and what he does has some consequences for the Spider-Verse. Spider-Man 2099 is going to be upset with some of his decisions. So after they go about their business in this disaster that was pretty cool in India, they go to Spider World. It's really where Spider-Man 2099 is from, and there's like a big place where just about every spider person is there. Apparently, like every spider person everywhere in every universe has a wristband that they can get to this like place and hang out. Everyone except Miles. I don't know. And you're going to see all types of spider people. I mean, you're going to see like dad bods, and some people with dad bods like even have a baby, a spider baby. Peter Parker, as we know him, is emasculated again in this film as he was in the first film. I thought it was kind of funny in the first film, maybe had a plot point, but in this movie they just continue the shtick where he's walking around in a pink bathrobe holding a baby most of the movie. I don't know, man. Let's let Peter Parker be Peter Parker, huh? What do you think? What do you say? How about in the third movie, huh? Are we allowed? Are we allowed to have that? A lot of the more masculine Spider-Men that you're going to see were also the villains. So, yeah. But you're going to see very gender-fluid spider people. You're going to see spider people that skipped leg day, obviously. Skipped arm day, chest day, all kinds of days. The body shapes are very strange. Yeah, I don't know. I like it when my superheroes look more heroic and they look like maybe they've been to the gym once in their life. Again, without giving any details away, Miles is going to upset Spider-Man 2099. There's going to be a big chase, and Miles knows what he has to do. He knows what the Spot is up to. He's got to stop the Spot, and the other spider people really don't want Miles to leave, but Miles is going to get on out of there. He's going to do his own thing, and I liked this part of the movie because finally Miles is feeling like a hero. He's making his own decisions, his own choices. He's grabbing his destiny. He's going for it. And so he sort of has to fight his way through a ton of spider people. And the third act is super, super strong, where Miles is about his mission, and we do get twists and turns, and you can just crank up the intensity, and you're really invested, and you're like, oh my God, and these reveals keep coming all the way to the very end when the movie just stops and tells us we have to watch part 2 next year. So maybe we have to watch another 2 hours and 20 minutes to see the conclusion of Spider-Man. Shouldn't it be like Miles? I don't know, Spider-Man. Across the Spider-Verse. Yeah, at the end when the team is assembled, the movie gets more focused. We get all the shenanigans and, I don't know, all the gobbledygook and out of the way. It feels like the movie was finally on track. But then, the lights come on and we get kicked out of the movie theater. There are no credit scenes, post-credit scenes, mid-credit scenes. None of that. So you don't need to stick around. There's nothing cool to see. So when the movie ends, just get the hell out of there. Yeah, just go home. Again, it's not as good as this one. For me, honestly, like, I really like that third act. I give the third act like a 10 out of 10. I give the first act a 4.5 out of 10. I give the middle act a 7. So you can do your own math there. One thing, when I was leaving the theater, though, you know, I'm just a grumpy old guy, right? These movies aren't made for me. I mean, Brie Larson tells us this all the time. And, you know, I sort of had a moment. So I'm leaving the theater. I'm still in the lobby. And I see like this little kid. He's probably 3 feet tall. And he has a perfect Miles Morales Spider-Man suit. It didn't look like some floppy thing from Target. It was like this kid was like maybe 3 feet tall. I'm assuming he was black. His mother was black. And it was just adorable to see a mom and the son going to see a movie. And the kid's costume was like perfect and tight. And the kid was like thin. And he had like Jordans that light up that were like spider logos on them. I mean, this kid looked amazing. If you could shrink Miles down a bit, it's this kid. And he had the Miles popcorn bucket. And the popcorn bucket head was like bigger than his head. It was just like adorable. And the mom, he was getting his picture taken in front of the big IMAX cardboard cutout display thing. And I was like, you know, I was tempted like take video to show you guys or take a photograph. And then I realized I'm staring at them too long and it's probably getting creepy. I should probably leave. But it was adorable just to see a mom take a son that was so into this movie, and I'm assuming he loved it. You could because you just get the vibe off the energy. He's so excited. He wanted his picture taken by the big Spider-Man display, and I was like, you know, that's what it's all about. You know, it's about family. You know, the kids, the parents taking the kids. I mean, that kid's gonna remember this day for his entire life, and that's why I can take my review and shove it up my ass. Because it's not about me anymore. I don't know. I still buy a lot of shit. I don't know. It's kind of about me. But it's really about the children, and I'm glad to see that this child was happy and he enjoyed the movie, and forever this is a great experience with him and his mom. All right. That's my take on Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Wait, no, Across the Spider-Verse. This one's Into the Spider-Verse. There it is. That's my take. As always, I want to hear what you guys have to say because I don't like listening to myself. So leave a comment. We'll get things fired up as the summer movie season ramps up. Can't wait. And everybody have a great day, a great week. I will see you soon. And as always, I will see you on the news.